more and more, we will be able to measure and understand how our brain cells function. Deciphering our consciousness is another question. But the experiments of Dr. Yang Dan have proved that in principle, it is possible to read and to understand the brain.
I didn't know that we started this thing again. So this is a digitized movie. We present this to the animal and we record the activity of their visual neurons. And these electrical signals that we recorded from will travel through these cables.
She managed to tap the vision from the brain of a cat and to reconstruct what the cat sees onto a computer screen.
So this is a digitized movie. This particular movie is a short clip from Indiana Jones, I think.
Here we see the two images next to each other. On the left, the image that was shown to the cat. At the right, the image that is tapped out of the cat's brain.
The picture has a lot of random flickering, the noise. That's probably the noise of the actual neurons, because they sometimes fire spontaneous spikes. We consider those noise, but maybe they reflect something else, maybe the thoughts or something. But we can't distinguish that. So when we use all of those, thinking that they represent visual information, this is the reconstruction that we come up with.
It is the first time an image was tapped from a brain. It proves that we can read and understand the grammar of it. The face is recognizable, but I still can't avoid the impression that the face has something cat-like.
My name is Jack Gallant. I'm a professor of psychology and neuroscience here at UC Berkeley, and my lab works on vision. That's our main focus is on the visual system. And vision's a really important thing to work on because humans are very visual animals. And when humans have damage to their visual system, they're really incapacitated. And natural vision is a lot like watching a movie. So essentially, we were trying to build a model that describes how your brain responds to movies. So if the external world is a certain kind of movie, we want to be able to build a dictionary that will allow us to accurately predict what the brain activity would be that would be evoked by that movie. And then given some brain activity, we want to be able to reconstruct the movie that you saw. So on the left here we have a movie that we showed a subject in the magnet. And on the right we have a brain. And you can see the brain activity is painted here on the side of the brain. But first we put people in the magnet for several hours and we show them movies and we build a model of their brain. And then in the second part, we put them back in the magnet, we show them new movies, and we measure their brain activity, and we decode their brain activity in order to reconstruct the movie. So on the left here is the movie we actually showed people, and on the right is our reconstruction. I think you'll be able to use this kind of technology for communicating with people who can't communicate, like locked-in patients or people with neurological diseases. I think you could maybe use this in some forms of psychotherapy or dream analysis. I think there's a lot of potential clinical applications for this.
Emotive is kind of this wild technology. It's a way for you to control things with your mind. So this is my brain right now.
This is your brain right now.
Oh my gosh.
In real time.
This is wild.
It's pretty wild. And what you're seeing is the localized activity right now and the concentration of activity.
So they are now developing a consumer product for market.
So this is a really simple use case scenario where the idea is I can just will this car to drive forward just with my thoughts. The way that the detections work is that you show the machine learning algorithms how you think about driving the car forward. So
right, but I mean, when you're actually wearing it, like, and do you have to think stop?
No, I have to just try and get back out of that
you have
zone.
to just stop thinking.
Yeah, you just got to stop thinking about it and get back to some other sort of normal.
Oh, how weird.
Slot.
But when you're
like, the thing about it is it's hard to get into the zone, and so when you're in the zone, you kind of stay in the zone for a little while longer.
But what do you mean in the zone? Like, do you think go, go, go?
No, I actually visualize. So when I'm training, I'm visualizing a cube moving into the distance.
You're actually, so you're training your brain to think of movement. Interesting.
Yeah, so I'm usually, the machine learning algorithms are picking up what my brain looks like when I'm thinking about moving this little cube into the distance. That trigger is sent to the car and it drives it forward.
Imagine moving a mechanical arm by just thinking about it, or playing a video game using only your mind. Yes! Although it may seem like science fiction, scientists and engineers have been developing this technology for decades. It's called Brain-Computer Interface, or BCI. To demonstrate how this technology works, Rao and his team of students use a BCI that allows them to study nonverbal communication. First, the student is fitted with an electroencephalogram, or EEG cap, which is a series of electrodes placed on the scalp to record brain signals.
We need to get ground reference now. Okay. It's at 48.
When a question appears on the monitor, the student answers yes or no by looking at one of the flashing lights, which are blinking at different frequencies. When the subject's eyes focus on one of the response lights, the frequency of that specific light is picked up by the visual cortex in the brain and measured by the EEG cap. 12 hertz represents a yes frequency, while a no is at a frequency of 13 hertz.
Now you can see a peak here right around 12 hertz, because no is for 12 hertz.
The computer interprets this signal and moves the cursor in the direction of the response. Using an EEG cap isn't the only way to measure brain activity. Some BCIs use a method called electrocorticography. It also records brain activity, but unlike the EEG cap, it is surgically placed directly on the surface of the brain, providing a clearer signal and more precise information.
Tan Lei, a remarkable entrepreneur, has started a company. Can we press? Yeah, there we go. That is finally building a brain controller for the rest of the world. We think it almost works. And with luck, we've asked somebody appropriate to help her demonstrate that. So Tan, stage is yours.
Thanks, Mike. And thank you for including me in this session, because magic, I think, and mind control is probably mankind's most grandest and oldest fantasies.
This will feel a little weird. Right now, we're inside a computer program